A very good morning to my dear students. Today, let us begin with chapter number 12, that is Simple Machines. So, everybody can remove your science textbook and open page number 84 and refer the textbook while I am teaching the lesson. So, students, on the screen, you are able to see different devices, and these different devices are used for completing different tasks. Yes, now observe and then we will discuss. Okay, so in the following pictures, certain devices are used to accomplish certain tasks more easily. Name the devices and discuss how they help. So the first picture is having a device that is needle. What is the use of needle? Yes, needle is used to stitch a cloth. Next we can see a wheelbarrow which is used for carrying sand. Then we are having an opener. Yes, the device is opener which is used to open a bottle. Next we are having an axe which is used for cutting wooden log. Then we are having pulley. Yeah, so the device is pulley which helps us in lifting a load. Next we are having a nail cutter which is used for cutting nails. So children, such devices which are used to get more work done in less time and less efforts are called machines. Okay, then the nail cutter, the bottle opener, the wheel which is used to carry the load. Yes, you can see them in the picture. So all these are called as machines. Okay, they are having only one or two parts. Yes, and they also have a simple and easy structure. And such machines which are having one or two parts and simple and easy structure are called simple machines. Okay, so simple machines can be handled easily and there are less chances of breaking down and getting damage to these machines. So we use many such machines in our day-to-day life. Can you tell? Observe the machines shown in the following pictures. For what purposes are they used? Can you name some other machines of this kind? So the first machine, that is a mixer. Can you tell me what is the use of this mixer? Yes, it is used for grinding. The next one, that is a bicycle. What is the use of it? It is used for traveling. Later on we are having a scooter. It is also used for traveling. Then we are having a sewing machine. Can you tell me the use of sewing machine? Yes, by looking at the picture we can understand it. It is used for stitching clothes. Then we are having a wheelchair which is used by physically handicapped people for traveling. Yeah. So are all these machines made from only one or two parts? No, these machines have many parts. Yeah. So the machines now which you are able to see on the screen, can you name them? Yes, that are watch, refrigerator, washing machine, car, cranes. These machines are having many parts. Yes, and which carry out many processes for completing a task. Okay, and these machines which are having many parts, which carry out many processes for completing a task. Okay, and for this purpose the different parts are joined to one another. Yeah, and these machines are called as complex machines. Okay, so what is complex machines? The machines which are having many parts, which carry out many processes for completing a task are called as complex machines. Okay, so the structure of the complex machine is complicated and some of the parts of complex machines are actually a simple machine. Okay, so we all of us are using simple machines as well as complex machine in our day-to-day life, yeah, depending upon the task what we are doing and the time and effort required to do it. So now let's learn about some simple machines. Inclined plane, wedge, lever, pulley, wheel and axle are some of the simple machines. We will learn about each one of them in detail. So the first one, that is inclined plane. So you will be able to see an image of an inclined plane on the screen. Let's learn about it through an activity. So here we are having Ravi, Hamid and Rahi. They are given a task of loading a heavy drum onto a truck. Ravi chooses the plank A, Hamid chooses plank B, Rahi did not use a plank at all. Here Ravi finds it lightest to load the drum onto the truck. Do you know why? Because plank A is long and thus it is having less slope, and thus Ravi can easily load the drum into the truck. But here it's little difficult for Hamid to load the drum because plank B is shorter as compared to plank A. Thus plank B is having steeper slope and Hamid requires little more efforts to load the drum. But here Rahi finds the drum heaviest to load because she is lifting the drum. So what can we conclude from these observations? If a slanting plank is used to lift a weight, we have to bear less of the weight and lifting it becomes easier. Such a plank is called an inclined plane. The more gradual the slope, the lesser is the weight we bear, but an inclined plane is longer. So children, when the slope is longer, we require less energy to load any object. Okay. Then the steeper the slope, the shorter the inclined plane, but we have to bear a greater weight. Means when the slope is steeper, means slope is less or steeper, then we require more energy to load the object. Now we'll take a rectangular piece of paper and cut out a triangle ABC from it. Let's draw a red line along the edge AC. Now we will roll this paper around the pencil in such a way that the smallest side of triangle will be near the pointed edge of the pencil. So let's wrap the paper. What do we observe? We observe that the inclined side AC of the triangle descends gradually from A to C. That means the size of paper goes on decreasing. In the same way, the threads on a screws are made. That is why when a screw is fitted in wood, it goes as if it is going down an inclined plane. Means when we are fitting this screw on a wood, that screw is already having an threads on it, and that threads are like an inclined plane. That is, they are slanting threads. Okay, so when we are fitting this screw on wood, it goes as if it is going in an inclined plane. Therefore, less force is required to fit a screw than to hammer a nail. In other words, a screw is like a rolled up inclined plane made up of an iron strip. A winding road or ghat that goes up a mountain is also like an inclined plane wrapped around the mountain. Means here we can see whatever roads you are able to see around the mountain. Are they looking like they are wrapped around the mountain? Yes, means they are slanting, and that means they are like an inclined plane. And as they are like inclined plane, it helps big vehicles to come up and down the mountain easily. So now let's observe and discuss. There are two routes, namely a pathway in first picture and a road in second one are available to climb the mountain shown in the picture. Compare the time and the strength and your convenience required to reach the mountain top. So first we will choose pathway. That time the time required will be less, but the strength required will be more as it is steeper, and thus it will be tiresome, and thus it is inconvenient to use this route. But in the second way, there is road. The time required will be more, but the strength required will be less, as the road is slanting, that is in inclined plane, and thus it is convenient to use the road. In the past, the Greek scientist Archimedes invented the machine which you can see in the picture, which looks like a screw. That is why it is called Archimedes screw. It was used to lift water from the hold of a ship. Archimedes used a round pipe fitted with a rod inside it. The pipe was placed at an angle of 45 degrees with one end inside the water, and the rod rested on the flat surface. When the rod was turned, water got lifted in this device. So this is also one example of inclined plane. So now let's learn the next simple machine, that is a wedge. So here we can see a woodcutter cutting a wooden log. An axe is used for cutting wood. A sharp tool is formed on joining two inclined planes. Such a tool is called a wedge. A wedge is used for breaking an object into two pieces or to separate objects stuck together. An axe, a knife, or a chisel are some examples of this machine. A needle and a nail are also kinds of wedges. Use your brain power. A needle is required for stitching cloth. We use a knife for cutting fruit. If the tip of a needle or the edge of the knife becomes blunt, then the needle does not penetrate the cloth and the knife does not cut into the fruit. Why does this happen? This happens because we all know that we require a pointed needle to stitch a cloth and a sharp knife to cut the fruits. The pointed needle and a sharp knife are having less area. A smaller surface area exerts more force on concentrated area. The blunt needle and the blunt knife are having more area. Due to the increased surface area, the force exerted would be very less, and thus it would be difficult to stitch the cloth and cut the fruit.